Have you been walking every day, yet your legs still feel weaker than they did a few years ago? Maybe climbing stairs leaves your thighs burning. Maybe getting out of a chair feels slower. Or perhaps you've noticed yourself reaching for a railing, a countertop, or the back of a chair more often than before. The real problem isn't that you're not walking enough. What most people don't realize is that after 60, some of the most important muscles for balance, strength, and stability gradually stop being fully activated. Walking keeps you moving forward, but it doesn't always challenge the deeper muscles that catch you when you stumble, keep your hips stable, or help you rise confidently from a chair. Think of it like this. Your legs still have an engine, but some of the wires connecting that engine to your brain have become weaker over time. The good news is that those connections can often be trained again. And today I want to show you one simple movement that may help wake those muscles back up and build stronger, steadier legs than walking alone. Let's start with exercise number 1. Exercise number 1. Single leg wall press. Stand beside a wall and don't worry if this exercise looks too simple. In fact, many older adults skip it because it doesn't feel like a real workout, but that's exactly what makes it so powerful. Place the side of your body near the wall and lift the knee closest to the wall until it's about hip height. Then gently press the outside of that knee into the wall and hold. At first, it may feel like nothing is happening, but inside your body, several important muscles are waking up at the same time. One of them sits deep inside your hip and pelvis. Most people have never heard of it, yet it plays a major role in walking, balance, and lifting your legs. As we get older, these deep stabilizing muscles often become quiet. Walking keeps us moving forward, but it doesn't always fully challenge the muscles that stop us from wobbling side to side. That's why you may feel fine walking down a hallway, but suddenly feel unsteady when putting on pants or stepping over a curb. Now stand tall through your chest and imagine a string gently pulling the top of your head toward the ceiling. Keep your standing leg slightly bent, not locked. Press your knee into the wall as if you're trying to move it. The wall won't move, but your muscles don't know that. Take a slow breath in through your nose, then slowly breathe out through your mouth. Keep pressing for 15 seconds. You should feel activity deep in your hip, around your pelvis, and in the legs supporting your body. It's almost like turning a light back on in muscles that have been sitting in the dark for years. Most people do one thing wrong here. They lean their whole body into the wall. Don't do that. The goal is not to push your body sideways. The goal is to create steady pressure while staying tall and balanced. Think of the standing leg like the trunk of a tree. Strong, stable, quietly working. Then relax and switch sides. Repeat 4 holds on each leg. If balance is a concern, keep one hand lightly resting on a chair. If lifting the knee to hip height feels uncomfortable, lift it only halfway. You'll still receive the benefit. Here's the hidden mechanism most people never realize. When you press and hold, you're teaching your brain and muscles to communicate again. It's like reconnecting old electrical wires that have become weak over time. After one session, you may simply feel more aware of your hips. After 30 days, many people notice they feel steadier getting dressed, climbing stairs, or standing on one leg. After 60 days, movements that once felt uncertain often begin feeling automatic again. Not because you've become younger, because you've reminded your body how to use muscles that were there all along. And now that we've started waking up the deep stabilizers that walking often ignores, let's move to the next exercise. Exercise number 2, reverse step and hold. Here's something most people never notice until later in life. Many falls don't happen while moving forward. They happen when the body is forced to react suddenly, stepping backward, changing direction, or trying to catch itself after losing balance. That's where this next exercise becomes incredibly valuable. The reverse step and hold helps wake up the muscles on the backside of your body, especially the glutes and hamstrings, muscles that often become weaker after years of sitting and less varied movement. If you've ever felt unsure when backing away from a counter, turning around in the kitchen, or stepping backward to avoid an obstacle, this exercise may feel surprisingly familiar. Stand beside a chair or a countertop so you feel secure. Begin with your feet about hip-width apart and your posture tall, as if someone is gently lifting the crown of your head toward the ceiling. Now slowly step your right foot backward. Not too far. Just far enough that you feel stable and in control. As your foot lands, bend both knees slightly and hold the position for 3 slow seconds. During that hold, keep most of your weight centered between both legs. You should feel the back leg working through the glute and upper hamstring while the front thigh helps stabilize your body. Then slowly return to the starting position. Switch sides and repeat. Move with control. This is not a speed exercise. Think of it like teaching your body a new language after years of speaking only one. As you hold the position, take a slow breath in through your nose and a relaxed breath out through your mouth. Allow your shoulders to stay loose. Keep tension out of your neck and jaw. One mistake I see all the time is leaning the upper body forward. When that happens, the lower back takes over and the hips stop doing their job. Instead, keep your chest proud and your eyes looking straight ahead. Imagine balancing a glass of water on your head. Here's the hidden insight. The moment you step backward, your brain becomes more alert than it does during normal walking. Why? Because backward movement is less familiar. Your nervous system must pay closer attention, and that increased awareness helps strengthen the communication between your brain and your legs. It's almost like updating an old navigation system that hasn't been used in years. Aim for 8 repetitions on each side. Move slowly enough that you could stop at any moment. That's where the real training happens. If balance feels challenging, keep one hand lightly touching a chair throughout the movement. If knee discomfort is present, shorten the backward step and reduce the bend in your knees. You do not need a deep movement to benefit. A small, controlled step is often enough. Over time, many people notice they feel steadier when changing direction, getting out of a car, or recovering from those little moments when balance suddenly feels uncertain. And perhaps most importantly, they begin trusting their legs again. That's a powerful feeling, because confidence doesn't come from moving faster. It comes from knowing your body can respond when you need it to. But now let's move into the next exercise. Exercise number 3, controlled single leg hover. Have you ever noticed that some days your legs feel perfectly fine and then suddenly one awkward step makes you feel unstable? That's because strength isn't always the problem. Sometimes the real issue is whether all the muscles in your leg can work together at the exact moment they're needed. And that's what this final exercise trains. The controlled single leg hover may look simple from the outside, but it challenges nearly every major stabilizing muscle from your hip down to your foot. More importantly, it teaches those muscles to cooperate. Because after 60, many people don't lose all their strength. They lose coordination between muscles that once worked together automatically. That's why standing on one leg while putting on socks can suddenly feel harder than it used to, or why stepping onto a curb feels less confident than it did 10 years ago. Let's begin. Stand beside a sturdy chair or countertop. Place one hand lightly on the surface if needed. Now shift your weight onto your left leg. Keep that knee slightly bent, not locked. Then slowly lift your right foot just a few inches off the floor, not high, just enough to hover. Now imagine you're trying to push the floor away with your standing foot. At the same time, gently tighten your glute and your lower stomach muscles. Hold that position for 10 seconds, then relax for 5 seconds while keeping your foot elevated. Repeat that cycle 4 times. As you breathe, keep your shoulders relaxed and your jaw loose. A slow breath in through the nose, a slow breath out through the mouth. You should feel effort in the standing leg, especially around the hip, thigh, calf, and even the foot. Most seniors never realize this, but the small muscles in the foot act like the foundation of a house. If the foundation becomes weak, everything above it becomes less stable. This exercise wakes up that entire chain. It's almost like turning on a series of lights from the foot all the way to the hip. One common mistake is lifting the floating leg too high. The goal isn't height, the goal is control. Another mistake is gripping the chair tightly. Use it only as a backup, not as support that carries your weight. If balance feels difficult today, keep your toes lightly touching the floor behind you. Even that modified version can be very effective. As you continue holding, you may notice a gentle shaking in the standing leg. Don't panic. That's often your nervous system recruiting more muscle fibers and improving communication throughout the leg. Think of it like tuning an old radio signal that has become fuzzy over the years. The signal is still there. It's simply becoming clearer. And that's what makes this exercise so valuable. It doesn't just challenge muscles, it helps rebuild confidence. The confidence to walk across a parking lot, to climb stairs, to move around your home without constantly thinking about every step. For many older adults, that's the moment everything changes. Not because their legs suddenly feel young again, but because they feel dependable again. And after 60, dependable legs can give you something incredibly valuable. Freedom. Now that you've completed all 3 exercises, let's talk about how to put them together into a simple routine and what kind of changes you may begin noticing over the coming weeks. Final thoughts. Stronger legs. Start with small daily wins. If there's one thing I hope you take away from today's video, it's this. Weak legs are not always a sign that you're simply getting older. Very often, they're a sign that certain muscles and movement patterns haven't been challenged in the right way for a long time. That's why I encourage you not to skip these exercises. They may look simple, but simple movements practiced consistently can create meaningful changes over time. The goal isn't to exercise harder. The goal is to help your body move better, feel steadier, and regain confidence one day at a time. Now, I'd love to hear from you. How old are you today, and where are you watching from? Which of these 3 exercises felt the most challenging? Which one felt the most comfortable? Do you struggle more with stairs, balance, standing up from a chair, or walking long distances? Please share your experience in the comments below. I read as many comments as I can, and your story may encourage someone else who is facing the same challenges. Most importantly, if you practice these exercises consistently and notice positive changes, whether it's better balance, stronger legs, easier walking, or more confidence getting around, please come back and leave a comment under this video. Let us know which exercise helped you the most and how long it took before you noticed a difference. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.